Yeah, hey Evan. Just how was that move from left guard to right tackle? How is that treating you, and how comfortable are you at right tackle?
So far, the transition's been treating me well. In high school, tackle was my natural position, so I feel like it just made the transition go much more smoother for me. I have I have more work that needs to be done. I can get better, but all in all, I can say that the transition's been going pretty smooth for me. I've been pleased with my performance so far.
We'll go to Michael Cascarande next.
Yeah, hey Evan, there was video of you coming out over the summer of you doing a box jump where you were jumping into uh, interesting position. Could you explain that move and just kind of your athleticism and the ability you've had to lose weight and become an athletic tackle?
Well, that was my first time actually doing something like that. Dr. Rhea and Coach Blue, they're great strength coaches. Can teach us, different exercises and whatnot like that. I feel like as far as my athleticism goes, don't want to, give myself too much credit or anything like that. But I feel like largely it goes to the fact that, I come from a, family of athletes. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm just a big athletic guy. You know what I mean?
Mike Rodak can go to unmute yourself.
Evan, you have a lot of experienced guys around you, a lot of seniors between Alex and Landon, Chris, Deontay. Just what have those guys done for you and your development, and what have they done for the entire room as well?
Those guys are great. It's a real pleasure being able to, play alongside guys that have that much experience. Alex, even with my transition, back to tackle, some of our off days and our free time, he go to the band field with me, show me different, set angles and, help me with my punch timings, and I'm really appreciative of that, and it's always good to have as much experience as we do in our room.
Charlie Potter, you're up.
Can you hear me now, Evan?
Yes, I can hear
We
you.
can hear you.
I know you guys still have some practices left to go, but how important is Saturday's scrimmage and you guys taking that next step, getting ready for the season?
I feel like Saturday scrimmage is extremely important. I feel like it just further, you know, some inside training Coach Saban been having us doing. It's another opportunity to go out there and get better and fine tune our craft so we can be ready, come the first game.
We'll go over to Brett Hudson.
Hey, Evan, I'm curious the opposite side of the transition of position. You were a natural tackle that had to go inside to guard last year. Kind of walk me through that and how you got used to using your length in a phone booth in the interior of the line.
Right, and that just goes back to like you guys said earlier, playing with such experienced guys like Deontay Brown, Jedrick Wills last year. A lot of guys that had a lot of experience. They were able to help me out. I did play some guard in high school earlier on, my freshman and my sophomore year. I played some guard, so that helped out as well. But being around guys that have a lot of experience, just makes those type of transitions go smooth.
We'll go back over to Michael Casagrande.
Yeah, Evan, how much weight did you lose since you got to Alabama? And secondly, how much is there a block that stands out in your mind as one of your favorite blocks, one of your highlight type hits?
When I got to Alabama, I was about I was about 385. Right now I'm around 355. I still got a couple more pounds that I want to lose. And as far as my favorite block, I like to get out in screens and whatnot, and get in space. As a big guy, because like you don't really see a lot of big guys. Try to get out in space and whatnot. I feel like those type of blocks I like.
And we'll go back over to Tony Scalas.
Yeah, Evan. I seem to remember a play last year. It was on the Tua interception. And I think you were one of the guys that really chased the guy back. Do you remember that play? And speaking of your athleticism, did that get noticed by your teammates?
Yes, it was brought up by some of my teammates. That was just always how I was taught to play ball. How my father always taught me. Always run to the football. Maybe it's going to get noticed, even if at that time I wasn't thinking it was going to be noticed. But it did. Even if I didn't have a chance to catch the guy, I was just trying to play with high effort.
And we'll go over to James Ogletree.
Hey, I mean, you guys are pretty diverse in your run schemes, like different ways that you try to attack the run game. How challenging is that, just in general, but then also when you're changing positions from guard to tackle?
It gets challenging because, like you said, at guard you're more so in a phone booth, and at tackle, you kind of have more space. You're by yourself, different footworks and different angles. You know what I mean? But I feel like we have good coaches. We also have good players. That can help those transitions and make those transitions easier.
And we'll finish up with Charlie with Evan.
You talked about just playing with experienced guys on that offensive line, but how much do guys like Phil Mathis and the guys on the other side of that defensive line help you?
Man, those guys are always great to go up against. I like to say iron sharpens iron. Every day we go out there and try to do our best to get each other better. And I'm grateful to have teammates, to play against like that every day.
All right, thank you, Evan. We'll
Thank
go
you.
and bring up Phil now.
Cool.
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right, you guys can go ahead and start raise your hand for questions for Phil, please. And we'll open up with Michael Casagrande.
Yeah, hey, Phil, we were just talking to Evan, obviously, and wanted to ask about his athleticism. I know there was the video over the summer of him doing the box jump. Is that something you see of him doing these kind of crazy, freakish athletic things for a guy his size?
Oh yeah, that's really big. You don't really see that too much happen from guys like that. And I just think, he showed the world that what he's capable of. Especially by him transitioning from a new position. So he's really, flexible and stuff like that.
We'll go over to Charlie Potter.
I know you guys have some practices left to go, but just how important is Saturday's scrimmage and getting ready for the season?
It's very important, especially for the D line. We kind of young and we got a lot to learn, especially with those younger guys, just coming together and just forming as a team, and we can take this and just roll with it.
Tony Sakalas, you can go ahead and mute yourself.
Yeah, Phil. What have you seen from Christian Barmore? You mentioned those young guys. What have you seen from him during camp?
Over the 2 years that I've seen him, being here, he has really grown up over the last 2 years, and he's been a good leader for us as of now.
James Ogletree.
Hey, Phil, I wanted to ask you about the competition going on at center. Each of those three guys, it seems like Chris and Phidarian and Emil are all in the mix there. What's your assessment of that competition and what each of those three guys brings?
All those guys, they pretty good. We work with them every every day, and I think they got a good challenge going on over there. But all those guys, they working real hard for the position. But I can't just say who it's for. That's up to coach to decide on that.
Mike Rodak, you can go down and mute yourself.
Yeah, Phil, just what impact has it had to have LeBron Ray back with you guys this year? Obviously missed a good portion of last season.
That's gonna be real big for us. He's one of the leaders in the room, and we need that in the room right now. For him coming back, he's gonna be a good help for us.
We'll go over to Tyler Waldrop.
Hey, what's been the biggest difference for you personally? I know it's a strange off season, but what's been the biggest difference for you personally this year compared to where you were at this point last year?
One of the biggest difference I'd say just more of stepping up, being a leader since all the older guys gone, and helping out LeBron Ray as both of us being the older cats in the room, just stepping up and being a bigger leader for the younger guys.
We'll go back over to Michael Casagrande.
And speaking of one of the older guys, Josh Mcmillan's been around for forever, seems like. He had finished up an engineering degree last year. What's that say about him that he was able to balance football and a degree as difficult as engineering?
I can just say, man, he's a strong cat, man. For him to come back the way he's doing, we need that in the backfield to make those calls, get us to get the D line ready up front. And I can just say about him is that we're going to really need him this year to step up and, you know, continue doing what he's doing.
Over again to Charlie Potter.
Just what are some of the things that you worked on individually to get ready for this season, maybe in the off season or leading up to fall camp?
For me, the biggest thing was for me just, you know, getting better at pushing the pocket, working on my pass rush, and just staying lower and being more aggressive.
Unless there are any other questions, we'll finish up with James Ogletree.
Yeah, Evan was just asked about this as well, but something I've noticed with you is you have a lot of hustle plays. Like you'll go and run several yards downfield to go and make the tackle. Do you consider that like an important part of your game, and where does that come from?
Just I always been told that, you know, people love to see big guys get down the field, and you know you don't see that as much. And running is something that I love to do, and it's just in my genes, I guess.
That's all the questions we have. This concludes this afternoon's player interviews. Thanks, everyone.